WSOU 89.5 FM, the loudest rock. I'm Valentino, and I'm joined today with Wade from Alexisonfire. How you doing today, Wade?
From the frigid depths of Canada, I'm trying to keep it together, man.
I know, home stretch. It's almost summer. We're getting there. It's close.
Yeah, we went on tour in South America like 3 weeks ago, and I thought when I get back, it's motorcycle time. And I got back, and it's like snowstorm time. What's going on?
That is so funny. Just the stark contrast, I'm sure, to be in like 80-degree weather. Got to be super nice, and then nope. But
yeah, definite buzzkill.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, very exciting stuff happening in the Alexisonfire camp. Brand new record, Otherness, out June 24th. How you feeling? That release day is coming close.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, it's really exciting to share this with people because, you know, just because of COVID and everything, we've been sitting on this record done for like a little bit now. And it's been kind of crazy, you know, operating just like in our day-to-day lives, knowing like there's a secret Alexis record. So it's cool. We put out another tune today, Reverse the Curse. We're going to release a few more songs before the album comes out in June. But yeah, like can't wait to hit the road, you know, play some more shows and just, yeah, have people hear the rest of this.
Absolutely. And, you know, the hype for this thing is insurmountable. You know, you go on social media, all these fans are just foaming at the mouth to hear these tracks. It is so exciting that, you know, A, you guys are able to drop a record 13 years after no music, and B, for it to have the hype that it's currently having is very exciting to see.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, we feel really, really fortunate that we have the type of fans that we do because, yeah, you know, like it has been, as you just said, it's been a minute since we put out a record. So it's like, it feels incredible to like come back and have people genuinely care so much. And yeah, it's exciting. I don't know, in a weird way, like I was thinking about this when I saw the new Jackass movie. Yeah. I was like, man, like this, I was like, number one, this is the best. Number two, I've been watching this for like my entire life. And number three, like, I'm just so happy these guys are just like still friends and doing this. And I walked out of the theater and I was like, I hope people can feel that way about the new Alexis record.
And, you know, pretty much everyone on the internet, you know, all the people at these shows, that's what the common sentiment has been. Like, you know, a lot of people are being like, oh my God, I'm hearing a new Alexisonfire track. Like, this is something I never thought I'd hear, you know, and nonetheless, a new record on the way. It's very, very exciting stuff. And also, you know, a little plug. If you guys like the new track, you can hear it, Reverse the Curse, on WSOU 89.5. It came out today, but by the time this is posted, it'll have been out for about a week. But very, very exciting stuff. Definitely check it out on all streaming platforms. I kind of want to ask a little bit about what was your headspace like, you know, when you announced this album? Because I feel like, you know, a band coming back on tour after like a long gap of not being together, that's one thing, you know, like, okay, you know, but to release music, I feel like there's got to be a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, there is, you know, I mean, it shifts so much, you know, like, as I said too, because we've had the record completed for a while, you know, like there's just so many feelings. You know, go from the shift, like we left the studio and I was like, we are the greatest band of all time. And then like about a month later, I was like, I don't know if any of this is any good. And so it's like the pendulum swings between those two things constantly. But you know, I think in like kind of the way we've tried to be over the course of our careers, we've always just tried to do things simplistically and like, and you know, like what feels good to us and where we want to push things. And so I think that's very much, this is another step forward for the band. And there's like us exploring some new territory and doing some things very differently. And then somehow, you know, it just like, it's still very much just sounds like Alexis. And I'm not even sure like how it's just us. It's just us playing together. You know, it is like, that is the band. Because when we started writing this, like I certainly had when we started writing this, it was just like, let's just get together and jam. And it wasn't we were going to write a new record, but because at that time I certainly couldn't have told you what a new Alexisonfire song is going to sound like. Like I had no idea, and I'm really glad this is the way it sounds.
And I think that's a testament to just overall the genuine nature of the music. The fact that, like, you're right, this feels like Alexisonfire. It does. It doesn't feel like, a totally separate entity or project. Like I could see this coming right after Old Crows, but it's interesting that to hear you even say it, I'm sure in the moment of the breakup, it's like, we have no idea what this could even sound like. But once you guys get back together and you just play riffs and you're just having a good time and, you're being yourselves, it just comes naturally.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, I'm glad to hear you say it feels like it makes sense sequentially. But I think from like, personally, I can say, I don't think we would have been able to make this record 10 years ago. Like, I don't think we would have been able to do the things we did vocally. I don't think we would have been able to do the things we did musically. I think we've all grown as musicians, working in other projects, working in different, like in even like different mediums of art and stuff. And that's filtered its way into this record. And it's like, it feels good that it's all in there.
And that's the thing that's so exciting is, yes, it feels like Alexisonfire, but it's also stuff we haven't heard before. You're right. This is a more like a darker Alexisonfire, I'd even call it. Even that self-titled record, like it's a lot of fun, but it's very, angsty. Whereas this is more like introspective from what I'm hearing. It's a very, it's something that we haven't heard from the band. You're right. It's all these past experiences.
Well, it's 20 years since the first record, so I hope I'm not as angsty. Someone would be seriously wrong if I was as angsty.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a fair point. But another thing I wanted to ask you about is overall the audience expectations, I guess. So like when you announced this record, when you were coming back, when you're officially Alexisonfire is back, did you find that there was a lot more pressure or a lot less pressure? Because I mean, in hindsight, people don't know what to expect. They haven't heard it in 10 years, but also, again, people haven't heard it in 13 years.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just so proud of what we did. I'm just excited to do it. We don't make a lot of decisions. I don't think we make any decisions thinking like, how are people going to perceive this? And I think that's just like, honestly, we've been friends for so long. We've been doing this band for so long, we still just feel like the people we were when we started it. And I'm glad that doesn't creep into the room when we're making decisions. Like we try and do it as simplistically as we did back then. And just like in that, this is what we think is good. This is like our best foot forward with the music and the films and like the art we're looking at. This is all of the like current inspiration, like blended up and like us playing at the height of our current ability. And that's like what the records have been each time we put one out. And I hope it continues to grow like that, and which is another thing too. Like I honestly feel like we're as good as we've ever been, and if we weren't, we wouldn't be doing it, man. Like we don't, like I love the life that we've been able to live and that our fans have let us live by supporting us and doing this and getting to be musicians. And I really am grateful for that. So I want to preface that by saying, like, we don't need to do this. Like, we don't need to do this. We want to do this. We love this. We want to treat this with like the care and the respect it deserves. And so like, we will not like, we wouldn't be going out and playing shows if we didn't think we could be better than we were the last time we did it. We wouldn't put out a record if we felt like we were just like, kicking a dead horse. We wouldn't be writing songs if we didn't think we still had stuff to say. So I'm proud that I'm proud that we're even able to say that this is I think this is the best thing we've ever done, because most bands get worse.
Oh, and I absolutely love to hear you say that, because I agree. I think that this is the most concise the band has sounded in years. And it's just so exciting to see. And I think that's the mindset you should have. Like, as an artist, if you don't feel that this record that you're putting out right now is the best record you've ever made, then you're doing it wrong. That's when you
Yeah,
start to
dude,
get into that like cash grabby area. But when you have that
for
like
sure.
emotion of this is the best work we've done, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, it's a hard place to live in that space. But I'm very thankful that we are. And you know what? There was a time we weren't in that headspace anymore, and we stopped playing. So like, at least for our successes and failures, at least I think we've always tried to be honest to ourselves and honest with our fans.
Absolutely. And I think even like what's nice about this is that not only are you guys coming back like stronger than ever, but there's a lot of fans that like have loved you guys for years and maybe never got to see you live. They missed out. I mean, heck, when the self-titled record came out, I was like 3 years old, like I wasn't be able to go in the mosh pit and have a good time, and now it's one of my favorite records of all time. The new record definitely has the ability to top that. I cannot wait to hear that thing in full once that drops. These singles have been incredible, but you kind of amass like an even bigger fan base, just than you ever have.
Yeah, which is a wild thing about going away and coming back. That's the way it ended up happening. But it makes sense. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't see us the first time around, or have become aware of us subsequently from like getting into different stuff and finding the band, and that's like very cool that we get to play for like new people at the shows, and like, I don't know, like, I gotta appreciate that. Like, man, I probably started going to see, like, I probably saw Motorhead play like almost 20 times, but like, I started going to see Motorhead play like probably after they were a band for 25 years, and just like, and then just like a new generation of people who were coming out there, and there was still all the old Speed Freaks and Hell's Angels there too, that were there from the start. But then there were some like younger kids with bullet belts. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the Alexisonfire equivalent of that is, but we're starting to see it at the shows.
That is so awesome to see. And, while we're talking about tours, I'll say for all of our New Jersey and New York listeners listening into this, you guys are coming to Rooftop Pier 17 in New York on July 23rd. You guys don't want to miss that. I'll just put that in while we're obviously talking about shows. What's it been like? Obviously, we've talked about how the band is better than ever. We've gone over that and we agree 100%. But is it weird to like, I don't know, have it like play a brand new track and then a track that you wrote 20 years ago? I feel like that's got to be a weird headspace shift.
It's honestly, it's not. I know a lot of musicians get caught up on that, but like, honestly, it's the way people react to the old songs always like makes me feel something. And people really react to those songs that I mean, it is a trip. It's songs I wrote when I was 17. Songs I wrote this year 20 years ago, which is wild. So like, it's certainly strange. Like, that's like someone finding like their high school journal and like going back and being like, oh my God, it's so cringy. But like, there's a lot of that stuff that's really connected with people, and some of those songs, like, they're really, they're songs I couldn't write now because of just like what we were listening to, our lack of interest in songs or form or whatever, that magic that happens when a band starts sometimes, and so even though we've played those songs more than anything else, there's still, it still feels like new. It still feels good. We play them, and crazy stuff's still happening, man. Like, we've been a band for 20 years. We played in Argentina for the first time on this last tour, and we played 44 Caliber Love Letter, which is one of the first songs we ever wrote, the first song on our first record, and the entire crowd started like singing the guitar line. And
wow,
like, that's never happened before. So like, I don't know, like, we're still being surprised by people like this many years in, and it was like a very powerful moment. I don't know if it's like if it's like because it's such a soccer country or like that's the vibe or whatever. Like people say it, but it was really cool.
That's awesome. I've only ever seen that at like an Animals as Leaders concert where it's like all instrumental, but I like that's just a cool experience to have the crowd not just scream the words back. Like, that's a new level, like scream the guitar back. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
it was wild, man.
And of course, I want to talk a little bit about kind of the trajectory of your comeback. So you guys were not a band for a long time, almost a decade. You finally get back together. It is very exciting. You're playing shows. You drop Familiar Drug, Seasons of the Flood, and then March 2020 happens, and I'm sure a lot of things were derailed. Tell me a little bit about how the pandemic kind of derailed the reunion, maybe how it altered the reunion.
We went on tour on like COVID Eve, pretty much. Like we went on tour with the Distillers right before that across Canada. And when we were flying home from the last show, our drummer was like, there's this COVID thing. It's kind of crazy. And we were all like, whatever, man, 2 weeks, who cares? And then, then it's, here we are 2 years later. Honestly, there was, I think, more positivity came out of the world being put on pause for Alexis than if it hadn't happened. Mm. We were slipping into a time of like Dallas was about to go into this, like, just begin writing for City and Color, touring, making a new record with that. I was about to start working on like a video game and a film. And we were about to kind of like go fracture off and do all of our stuff again, and none of that happened, and everything kept getting canceled. And so we just found ourselves like we're like jamming just for fun, because it's the only way we kind of see other humans. Our record label, no one was down there. Everyone was working from home. So we went to this, space by ourselves, and it was like such a treat to see other people, even to do something that was like, it makes you feel good. And because we were just jamming, like we were having band practice like we used to when we started the band. Like we just like finish practice and like get pizza and then like watch Escape from New York or something like that. And like no one, like that hasn't been rehearsing like lately, like everyone's doing a million things. Like we're like, we've got to slot it in this day, we got to do this. And it's like, we're not like casually like arguing about where we're ordering pizza from. But the pandemic kind of allowed for that. And I think it allowed us to begin rehearsing in a very chill way with no expectations, no schedules. And I think it's a big part of why we were able to make a new record.
Wow. So maybe without the pandemic, we might not have gotten Otherness. And that's like, and as I've said, the singles we've been hearing so far have been so incredible. It's just that's shocking. That really is shocking.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess that's a COVID miracle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the one thing that was okay.
Well, one of the few blessings to come out of an otherwise ordeal, but that's crazy. And it's just so exciting. I have one more question to ask you today. I wanted to thank you so much again for taking time out of your day to talk with us, talk with WSOU about this new record. We're playing the new tracks. We're really loving it. Obviously self-titled, turning 20 years old this October. Do you guys have anything planned, anything special? Like how are you guys feeling about that? That's a massive milestone right there.
Yeah, it's a trip. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to try and do some stuff around it. But I don't know. Like, I was just about to say, I don't love it when bands play records front to back. And that's a lie, because I went to see Jawbreaker play Dear You front to back in Detroit like 2 days ago. So I don't know. Maybe we should do that. We're going to figure something out for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for talking to me today. Obviously, Otherness is out June 24th. You guys are coming to New York on July 23rd. A lot of exciting stuff happening for this Alexisonfire camp. And yeah, we appreciate you talking with us today.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for playing the tune, and great chatting with you.